Hi everyone, today I would like to talk to you about two Excel formulas that I use quite a lot in my daily job. First one is the unique formula. This will return a list of unique values in a list or a range, and this can be numbers, dates, or text, etc. The second one is going to be sequence, and this sequence formula generates a list of sequential numbers in an array. So to start, let's use the unique formula to know how many years we actually have in column B. So we can do this by using equal sign. Let's call the function unique. Then the first parameter is the array you want to evaluate. So this is going to be column B. And we can lock this array as well. And the next parameters are not really helpful for what we want to do, and they are also optional, so you don't need to do anything. So you can close that. So here, if you evaluate column B and you put unique, this will give you all the unique dates we have in column B. But because we want to return the unique years in this array, we should also include the year formula. So if you wrap around that, this will return us what unique years we have in this column. But if there is any cell that is blank, this will also is going to give us the unique value for that. So if I delete that, it will give us 1900, that is equivalent to blank. So one way to get around that is if we go to our formula and we include the formula filter, and this array, so the first parameter is fine, so we can go to the end of our first parameter and press comma, and what we want to include is the same range, so from B2 to B501, and we lock that array as well, and then we say that we want to be different, and this is how you say to Excel that we want something different from criteria, and in this case you want to be different from blank. So also we put double quote to say to Excel that this is blank. So now press enter, enter again, and now our unique formula is not including blanks. So another thing you can do with this formula is count the values that this formula returned. So in this case it's going to be 4. So if you don't want the values, if you want to return the count, the only thing you need to do is to add the count formula and press again enter, and we know that we have 4 different values or unique values in column B. So this is quite useful to give you some quick analysis of your data, and we can do many things with this. We can start building our data set to resume or do a summary of everything we have in our spreadsheet. So for example, let's look at the unique departments we have. So call the unique formula from F2 to F501, that's our array. Let's close our unique formula, and here we can see that we have 12 unique departments. So this is quite useful formula for you to use when you want to know the unique values in your data sets, either is the values or the counts. But you can start building a table like this, and of course all of this is achievable with a pivot table, but sometimes you don't want to present a pivot table with that specific format, so you build your own. So this is looking more and more like a table. So what I want to do now is to use another formula, that is the sequence formula. If we will go here to the top to K1 cell, and we call the sequence formula, so equal sequence, press tab to call the function, and if we do here a quick example to see how this works, if we say that we want the number 4, so 4 rows, this will show 4 different values but by row. In the next parameter we have also columns, so if we say that instead of rows, so let's delete that and let's go to the next parameter, to the columns parameter, and we'll also say 4, this will give us 4 values but flowing to the right by column. Also the next parameter, we can say which number to start. We can say starting in 3, and it goes from 3 to 6, but only 4 values, or 4 columns of data. last parameter, so if we go and press comma, is the step. Say that we want to do step 2, our number is going to be increasing by 2. So what I want to do now is to include here on the top the years that we had before. So we saw before that we had 2018 to 2021. So as same as we done before, if we see that, so from 2018 to 2021. So let's do Control Z. So let's actually copy this formula right here, and we know that this is going to return 4. Let's delete that and start again our sequence formula. So equal sequence, press tab to call the function. So of course we don't want to show by rows, otherwise it's going to on top of the other formulas you're going to build below, and we want to include this formula we just copied in the next parameter, that is columns. So press comma, do Control V, and let's close this function by pressing Shift 0 or another parenthesis, press enter, and this will give us 4 value because we had 4 different numbers of years. So what we want to do now is to show the actual years instead of 4 columns. So here, if we actually press columns, this is our first parameter that we included, but what we want to do now is to go to the next parameter. So we go to the last parenthesis and we press comma, and where we want to start is the first year that we found in column B, or the earlier year that we found in column B. So what we can do is to say we want to find the minimum year, and we can actually again, we can paste again the formula, remove the count, press enter again, and this is how we get the formula to start in year 2018 to 2021. And of course this gave us the 4 values because this was the count of the number of years that we done before in our previous formula. So with these two formulas, the unique and the sequence formula, you can create quite good data sets, but it's up to you what you want to do with this information. So for example here, what I would like to see is by department, how much is the value of each invoice. So what we can do is to use the sum product. Let's call the sum product, and let's sum the column E, so E2 to E501, and let's actually wrap around this with parentheses, and let's also say and. So we say to Excel we want this and something else. So the next criteria we want is to say we want to sum by year, and the way you can do this is by saying I want the n. So the n formula is the way you convert Boolean values to actual values. So you can press tab and say the year. So the year is in column B, as we saw before, from B2 to B501, lock that array, and we say that this array, and we close this parenthesis, this array is equal to our year in cell K1, and we lock this as a relative reference to go horizontally once we copy our formula to the following years. So now let's also close our second criteria, and we say also and then by asterisk that we also want to see by department. So we open again parentheses, we go to our department array in our data set, let's lock the range, and we want to say that this range is equal to J2, that is our department. Let's lock by column, pressing 3 times in F4. Let's close with parentheses, and again another parenthesis. Let's press enter, and here let's put this with as a currency. So that's 181,658. And if we do here a quick filter, just to confirm what we were doing, so here is going to be 2018. Our first department was training, and let's press OK. Let's do here a quick sum, and that's 181,658. So that's correct. Let's copy this to the other years and departments as well. And now let's also resize these columns. Let's also resize here our departments, delete that. So as you saw, unique and the sequence formula are quite powerful when you want to create something dynamic. Hopefully you like this video and you find this helpful. And if you want to see some other examples, please comment down below and leave a like if you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching.